fish friends. Welcome back to the Love Your Ocean podcast. I'm your host, Taylor, a shark educator with Zen for Blue, as well as an ocean conservation advocate.
And I'm Cassie, Education Development Manager with Zen for Blue, a zoologist and a conservation communicator.
We are very happy to have you guys back today. And just a reminder, Zen for Blue is a nonprofit organization focused on ocean conservation, education, and connecting people to species they usually scroll past online in like 3 seconds.
And today's episode is a really important one because May is Endangered Ocean Species Day.
That's right. Which means today we are asking, why should we care about these endangered ocean species?
But before we dive in, as always, we're going to do our quick experiment. So when you hear the word endangered species, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Sad, maybe hopeless, polar bears, sea turtles with straws in their noses, maybe just guilt.
Yeah, or maybe you think, well, that's awful, that's happening, but what am I supposed to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. So I want you to hold on to that thought because by the end of this episode, we want you to realize that endangered species conservation isn't just about saving animals. It's about protecting entire ecosystems and honestly, ourselves too.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I think people don't realize is that the ocean is full of species quietly disappearing right under our noses. And the wild part is a lot of endangered marine species are endangered because of us, unfortunately. Pollution.
We're the worst.
Yes, literally. Pollution, overfishing, habitat destruction, climate change, boat strikes are a huge one. And then, of course, one of the biggest issues going on right now, plastic waste. Like, humans really look at the ocean and say, what if we just made everything a little harder for you guys?
Yeah, that just goes for the entire earth, honestly.
Yeah.
I always say humans, when people ask me, what animal do I not like? I always say humans.
Exactly.
But there are some good humans out there, don't get me wrong. But we're definitely a big part of the problem because all of these problems are human-based issues that have been created by humans. So the species that we're talking today aren't just random. They play huge roles in keeping marine ecosystems functioning. And once those systems start breaking down, people feel it as well. So that means food systems, tourism, coastal protection, biodiversity. It's all connected.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great. And this is just what this episode's about. And we're going to go over a few different species. There's a lot of them out there, but we're going to go over some popular ones and kind of just talk to you about them and maybe why they're endangered. The first one we're going to start off with is a fan favorite, sea turtles. I mean, honestly, who doesn't love sea turtles? I know I love them. Cass loves them.
Sea turtles have been around since the time of the dinosaurs. I mean, they've survived asteroids, ice ages, mass extinctions, and then humans just showed up with plastic bags and beachfront condos, and now they're endangered.
Yeah, that's actually insane when you think about it. And one of the biggest problems sea turtles face is plastic pollution. Unfortunately, turtles, what happens is they mistake floating plastic bags for jellyfish, which is one of their main food sources. And it's really devastating when you see it.
There's also different factors that a lot of people don't think about, like artificial lighting.
Yeah.
So baby sea turtles naturally follow the moonlight reflecting off the ocean to find water after they hatch. But now with hotels, hostels, beachfront lights, it all confuses them. So instead of heading towards the ocean, they now head towards the parking lot. It sounds fake, but it happens all the time.
It's so sad. It's so sad when I see that stuff happening. And then you can't forget there's fishing gear entanglement, boat strikes, habitat loss. I can't tell you the amount of times I come across videos where fishermen are trying to disentangle actually the fishing wire and stuff from them. It's really sad. It's like every stage of their life comes with an obstacle course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so sea turtles, big one. Another really big one, and they're also very misunderstood. My personal favorite, sharks. Sharks are one of the most misunderstood endangered groups in the ocean. People still picture sharks as mindless killing machines, when in reality, guys, humans kill an estimated 100 million sharks every single year. So,
I remember hearing like one statistic one time where it was like you're more likely to get hit by lightning, or I think it was also like get crushed by a vending machine than getting killed by a shark or
yeah,
even bit by a shark.
and that's insane. And we're killing that many of them every single year.
It's like such a wild statistic because people are terrified of sharks, while sharks should honestly be terrified of us.
Exactly, exactly. And it's crazy too because sharks are apex predators, meaning they help regulate entire food webs. So, you guys, without sharks, ecosystems can completely lose balance, and so many species are of endangered animals are endangered because of overfishing and shark finning. So those are the two main reasons why sharks are becoming endangered. And it's very heartbreaking because most sharks reproduce really slowly. So as we're killing them at these mass numbers and at a very high rate, they're not able to reproduce at that same rate, which is what's leading them to being very endangered. Some species actually take over a decade just to mature. So populations, again, they can't quickly recover from these types of things.
A decade to mature too is just crazy when you just think about it relative to like fish species or different other like oceanic species. 10 years is a really long time. That's a really slow like population growth rate to bounce back from.
Exactly.
Um, Taylor and I were just recently in Belize with Zen for Blue, and we got to see some really cool nurse sharks. I
Yes.
absolutely loved them.
Me too.
I think that they're a really good kind of introductory shark for people who maybe are a little more spooked by sharks to kind of get used to because they are relatively docile around humans. And we got to feed them lionfish, and it was super cool. I
It was
absolutely
so
loved
cool.
that.
It was very cool. I got my scuba certification while I was down there, which was awesome. And I just remember being underwater with my instructor, and I'm looking at him doing like presentations under the water, and there was just nurse sharks swimming behind him, behind me, just around us. And I was like, this is the coolest experience, I swear. And everyone was calling them the sea puppies, so I'm already missing them. They were so cute.
The best way to learn is outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So we can't go this episode without mentioning coral reefs because coral reefs are in trouble right now, and people forget coral is actually alive.
Yeah. It is. And every time I have this conversation with people, it like blows their minds because when people look at coral, most of the time they just think it's a very pretty, colorful underwater rock. Well, no, actually, these are tiny living animals and they're very important.
Climate change is causing coral bleaching events all over the world. It's very, very sad. Quite frankly, the ocean is not as bright and beautiful as it once was, and it's very evident. This happens when water temperatures get too warm. Coral basically becomes stressed out and expels an algae that they rely on for survival. And then when the reefs disappear, you don't just lose the coral, you lose habitat for thousands of marine species and all of those tiny living animals. Reefs are basically underwater cities.
They are, and we have to protect them. The next species that we definitely want to talk about, it's actually a little combination of species. So manta rays and whale sharks. I know lots of people love these guys. We have a whale shark right behind us right here. And these guys are some of the gentlest animals on Earth, not just the ocean, on Earth. And people still manage to threaten them. It's crazy.
Yeah, humans, like I said, the reoccurring theme for this episode is that humans are the worst species.
Yeah, yeah, we are. But seriously though, like these animals face threats from fishing, boat strikes, and tourism not being done responsibly. Which is why ethical wildlife tourism matters so much. I know Cass is a huge advocate for this, and she promotes it a lot in her trips.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Emphasis on the word ethical for the wildlife tourism. There's a lot of wildlife tourism that can be very tricky, and it's very, very crucial to make sure that you're supporting local organizations that are actually hands on helping ocean conservation and our earth and our planet. So while whale sharks are so funny to me, because they are the largest fish in the ocean, but they only eat plankton.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they really are gentle giants. And I just can't imagine being the size of a school bus and just surviving off of microscopic snacks.
Oh, I know. I've actually gotten to experience and do some research with whale sharks, and I always just compare them to Pac-Man because when you're swimming alongside them, they're just, yeah, literally just eating all the plankton. But it's very mind-boggling to see a creature that big eating something that you can't even really see with a blind eye unless you look under a microscope. They're very tiny, but they're amazing creatures, and we definitely need to protect them. Hey guys, quick shout out to this month's sponsor, Desir Executive Transport. Whether you need airport transportation, a ride for a special event, or just want smooth luxury travel experience, they've got you covered with professional and reliable executive transportation services. Honestly, showing up stress-free and on time, elite behavior. Make sure to check them out at DesirExecutiveTransport.com, and thank you for supporting the Love Your Ocean podcast.
And now it's time for the segment that we like to call
What the Shell? This is the part of the episode where we rapid fire the weirdest, coolest, and most chaotic ocean facts that we could find.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Sea turtles can travel thousands of miles across the ocean, and somehow they return to the exact beach that they were born.
That's insane. Meanwhile, I need GPS to leave the Target parking lot.
Literally. Okay. Manta rays can recognize themselves in mirrors, which means they actually have self-awareness.
So there's a very real chance a manta ray has more self-reflection than some people on the internet.
Dolphins have actual names for each other.
Like personalized signature whistles, which means dolphins basically invented contact names before humans did.
Some species of sea cucumber can inject their internal organs as a defense mechanism.
That's crazy. That's honestly the most aggressive, like, leave me alone strategy I've ever heard of.
That's like kind of like iconic, honestly.
Honestly, it's very iconic.
Okay. Cuttlefish can change both color and texture in seconds to blend into their surroundings. A lot of people only think about octopus. Cuttlefish, you guys, are super good at it too.
Yeah, that's so cool. Meanwhile, I barely can match my outfit to my shoes.
How do you keep coming up with these?
That was super fun. Hopefully you guys like that segment. We're hoping to do that more in these episodes. So who doesn't love fun facts? But we're going to transition over to one of our most important and our favorite parts of these episodes, which is why people should care. So why should people care about endangered ocean species? Well, it's because healthy oceans affect all of us, even if you never ever step foot in the ocean.
The ocean helps regulate climate, which produces oxygen, supports food systems, jobs, protects coastal lines. Like the ocean is doing a lot for us.
Yeah, and every single species has a role. So, guys, when species disappear, ecosystems can become weaker and less stable, and eventually we're going to be feeling those consequences too.
And the good news is that there are people fighting for these species every single day. Marine protected areas, conservation laws, reef restoration, wildlife rescue organizations, sustainable fishing initiatives, and more.
Yeah. And honestly, education matters too. It's huge because once people emotionally connect with a species, everything changes. People protect what they care about. So, guys, what can people actually do? Because I know conservation conversations can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming.
Definitely. Yeah. So first, I would always just say reducing single-use plastic wherever you can. No one's asking you to become a perfect zero waste person overnight, but small changes do matter and they add up.
Yeah, they definitely do. I'm a big supporter in the ethical wildlife tourism. Just as you are, Cass, we need to be doing more research before booking animal encounters. And if someone's chasing, touching, stressing, or harassing wildlife for photos, guys, that's a massive red flag.
It's a massive red flag. You can also support organizations that are doing real conservation work like Zen for Blue. Just following their educational creators like Taylor and myself, sharing their information, volunteering with different organizations, and donating if you can. It really does make a big difference.
Yeah, it really does. And honestly, one of the biggest things is stay curious. You're going to hear me say this a lot in this series, but stay curious because curiosity leads to empathy, and empathy is what leads to conservation.
So let's go back to the thought we asked you to hold on to in the beginning of the episode. What comes to mind when you hear the word endangered species? Maybe now it's less hopeless and more personal?
Yeah, exactly. Because these species, they aren't just statistics. They're part of systems keeping this planet alive, and protecting them doesn't require perfection. It just requires people willing to care.
And honestly, that's exactly what this podcast is about, helping people fall in love with the ocean and wanting to protect it.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for another episode of the Love Your Ocean podcast.
Make sure to follow along with Zen for Blue, subscribe to the podcast, and let us know in the comments which endangered species you'd like to talk about next, as well as that before and after word we talked about.
Yes. Comment below, guys. And remember to love your ocean.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow us along on social media. You can find us at Zen for Blue and follow along with everything we're doing there. Plus, check out our personal pages too. You can also head over to the Zen for Blue website to learn more about what we do and all the different ways that you can get involved. We seriously have so many fun opportunities for anyone interested in marine conservation, whether that's events, volunteering, education, or getting hands-on experience. So definitely check that out. And of course, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors listed below for helping make this possible. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one.